It is 6 o'clock and I'm going to call the Dalton Township Planning Commission meeting for June 30th to order. First, we will do roll call. Dave here, Todd here, Jesse here, Casey here, John here, Mark here, and Lee is excused. So we have approval of the agenda. Is there anything anyone has or any additions, Stephen?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support. Motion and support. Roll call or take a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. That moves forward. Next up, we have the approval for the meeting minutes of May 26th.
Make a motion to approve the May 26th, 2026 minutes.
Support. Motion and support. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next up, we have public comment. We have a couple items on the agenda tonight. For a couple of different items. This is just a general opportunity for you. If you would like to, you can have 3 minutes to tell us about something else, or otherwise, right after this, we will have the public hearing for those two items that we have on for public hearing time. So I'll go ahead and open the public hearing open the public comment and comment. Yeah, he's gonna speak. I'm gonna open the public comment at 6:02.
Thank you. My name is William Scott. I own 296 East Daniels here in Twin Lake and Dalton Township. I would ask for a little bit of leeway on the time because I was contractually obligated to be in the UP last month when we talked about Planning Commission 2607, the private road extension on Daniels. I've taken some pictures. I sent them to John. I've taken pictures of the end of Daniels where the township has paid and placed huge cement blockades to stop traffic of four-wheel drive vehicles, motorcycles, quads, all of which I own. But they roared up and down our road. It made it a very unpleasant place to live. The dust was always going. We have animals. My mother-in-law lives right next door. My grandson lives up on the corner, along with my two great-grandchildren that live there. It's safe. It's a safe road now. It's a pleasant place to be. My mother-in-law built a new porch outside. We're asking you, and John lives down the street from me. We are the majority of property owners on that portion of the road. You represent the township. We are the township. We're asking you to deny this, and to deny it for the following reasons. Number one, what I believe the owners of this property think is going to be their driveway cannot be. The picture of the trail veers off to the left onto Nick Vleetster's property. There's probably 10 feet of clear area on the end of Daniels on what used to be Daniels before they abandoned the road. That's actually township that's cleared. The township or somebody's going to be responsible for going through and clearing old growth forest all the way back to Poppy Way because there is no open road there. Now, the fire department raised the stake about not having access, but they agreed they have access back there on Lakewood. They have access back there on Poppy Way. Poppy Way is completely open. There's nothing needed to, as far as getting rid of one tree, maybe some trimming, maybe some firming up of the ground. Nothing else is required. Poppy Way makes sense. It goes right directly to the front of this property. To cut through old growth forest, to incur that expense, and as I understand it, they don't even know if they can get power back there yet. But we, the majority property owners on East Daniels, are asking you to deny this in its entirety. Because first of all, it's going to be a drain on the township's budget, and it's going to be a drain on our nerves. So we respectfully ask you to decline and turn this down. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? All right, at this point, I'll close the public comment at 6:05. Next up, we have items for public hearing. First one is for ordinance PC 2609. It's ordinance amendment for accessory buildings that we have been working on. I'll go ahead and open that public hearing at 6:05. Any public comments on that?
I believe that's mine.
Okay.
100% sure.
No, that's an ordinance.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, having no public comment, I'll go ahead and close that at 6:06. We will still need to vote on that now, Steve? Or-
Yes.
Okay.
You vote to send that to the.
All right.
I will make, well, good. Sorry.
Go ahead. If there's no discussion, we're looking for what you want.
No, good. I interrupted you.
No, you're right.
I will make a motion to adopt PC 26-08, not adopt, send to the board PC 26-09 as presented.
Motion and support. We'll take a roll call vote. Dave, yes. Todd?
Yes.
Jesse?
Yes.
Casey?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
And Lee?
Yes.
All right. Next up, we have public hearing for PC 2610, which is a 5302 Automobile Road, a wireless communication tower. I'll open that public hearing up at 6:07. If you do have a comment, just stand up and you can give us your name and address so that Steve can for the records. I'll open that up at 6:07.
Deb Brown with SMJ International here to represent American Tower and answer any questions on that tower. I'll be doing during the public comment or just wait till it's called.
At the end of the public comment, we'll close public before we have our deliberation. We may ask you some questions.
Okay.
Or someone may ask a question that you may have answers to. If so, we'll ask the people that would like to ask the question to direct the question to us. And then your answer directed to us so that we just, in these things sometimes
Right.
there's a lot of emotions in these opportunities, so.
Is that a yes? Go ahead and present or,
No,
Wait.
we'll wait till we do this here.
thank you.
Is there any other public comment for that? I can close that at 6:08. Say what, it's not for a lack of getting information for us. Can I ask a quick question? And you can. Could you tell us who the carrier will be? Who uses that?
AT&T?
Okay. Just out of curiosity. Anybody have any comments, concerns?
For me.
Anyone would like to make a motion?
Make a motion. Special land use permit and site plan review for a wireless communication facility at 5302 Automobile as proposed.
Support.
All right, I have a motion and support. Take a roll call on this. Dave, yes. Todd?
Yes.
Jesse?
Yes.
Casey?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
And Lee?
Yes.
All right, that moves forward to the board. We have a planning commission report. Information on there. And for those that aren't, know how this process works, at this point, I thought I'm gonna start telling you guys, we are a complaint-based township. So if we don't hear about it, we don't go out and pursue things, there's no actions to grind. We don't go out and say, well, you know what, this person, I noticed this, we're gonna go get him. That's not the way this works. It's all based on complaint, which really, as we have found, has been the best system that I've been talking to our neighbors. Be glad this is a good place to be, I'd say. All right, next up, we have some unfinished business. First up, we have the private road extension. PC 26-07 of East Daniels, special land use and the site plan review. Do we have anyone here speaking on behalf of the applicant? Okay. And were you able to get the information you were looking for?
Yes, and I provided it to Steve and
Okay.
Heather. Doesn't say
Could you
anything.
speak a little more about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
To hear it from you.
I have the email right here, the day after the meeting, well, that evening, I went home and contacted my project manager. And, spoke with him the next morning and he sent me an email. The first 500 feet is at no charge. He said as long as the road. And, he said that as long as the road, is permitted, then there's no reason not to, bring it out, but, I'm looking for the email in here, but, if they have to do any forestry, there's a $1,300 fee, whether it's, they have to do underground or overground or whatever, but, that would be the max, and we're not looking for more than 500 feet anyhow. They do look for easement. Obviously, we know who are the homeowners that aren't gonna grant us easement, but we do know that township has property surrounding that. And, if they go every 250 feet, the township owns property within that 250 feet, that they could grant us easement permission for consumer energy. But it is absolutely doable. I don't know what else. That was all they asked.
Okay. Did have our public hearing last week, but all right, let's open it up for some board conversation here and having had lots of information on this last week and then again this week. Trying to review this. Wouldn't have any,
Does anybody know? I mean, I didn't trek through the woods. I went there, but everybody keeps saying, oh, you can just get to it from Poppy Way, but I don't see that Poppy Way is anything but like nothing really. It doesn't look like a road on the map at all. When you come south from church, it looks like it doesn't look passable. It doesn't look like there's any road there at all. Am I seeing this wrong?
Absolutely.
So how far? So there, because when you look at the intersection of Church and Poppy Way, to the north, you can tell like it's got, regular everything. But to the south, it looks like it may be no wider than a sidewalk.
No, that's incorrect. To the north, it's an improved road.
Right.
To the south, it's still a legal road within the township. It's not an improved road, but I can guarantee you it's one straight shot all the way back clear past Cedar. It goes clear back past Cedar. It goes almost to Witten. It's one straight shot. It's not an improved road, but you can get through there. You can't get through at the end of Daniels. Not on what would be Daniels. So what you're looking at is probably not an accurate view. You probably should go there. You could walk it. Jump on any four-wheelers that go up and down Poppy Way.
Can we respond to that?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so yes, you can drive up, down it.
Okay.
It's
Like with a car?
yes,
not with
I drove my Traverse down it.
Okay.
Yes.
From
you can
church.
get there, but it's like 3 times the distance.
Okay.
And just, so okay, I understand that, but it's not to the township's expense either. It's, we are putting the road in, it's not
Correct.
the township.
Right.
that's paying for it. It would be us paying for the road. And it's not a private road. It would still be public. So just,
Can you drive all the way to the site from Poppy Way?
you can, but it's why, I mean,
Is it wide enough just for your car?
yes.
Okay,
And if we still have to develop that Chewett County road, you're talking 3 times the expense. And
Nobody told you to buy there.
We're gonna ask, we're gonna
you
ask.
have to direct
I
all,
said that to you.
well, I didn't
Said
buy
that to her,
anything there.
You're
so
saying
you're
things
talking
about
to her.
someone's being, we're just trying to keep this.
Yes.
So
The other question then would be to the board, can you drive directly there from the end of Daniels? And the answer is not on your life.
I want to say something. Can I say something? All right. John Bridgewater, 329 East Daniels Road. Everybody on that street is against this. Okay, we fought really hard to get these barricades up. It was like hell with cars every hour of the night going back in there, using the end of our road as access to get back to Poppy Way. You can access Poppy Way all day long. Okay. Just because it's a little bit more inconvenient to make them go up north and then hit Poppy Way from there. Why on earth are we going to inconvenience an entire road of people that fought to get it blocked just so that these people can helicopter in and build their little house and move on? Hey, here's the deal. We got homeless camps back there. We got kids that live on this road, and it was extremely dangerous. That's why we got the barricades. Okay. Hold on a second. There was another point that I wanted to make. Hold on a second. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay. The bottom line is that nobody wants this. Okay. They have a way to get to it now. And here's the other thing. They say that it's all good with they can build the road, they can get the power. Have they proved that in the packet? Because here's the thing. If we open this up and they build that road and then all of a sudden it falls through, okay, what are we doing here? Okay, so they should have to prove that they can actually get the power, that the entire plan will actually work, that they can actually get this road in. Because when you look at the pictures of this, 80% of that 2-track is on private property, and the guy's not going to allow this to happen. Where they would have to build the road is like a sloping hill that they would have to either go up and over after they rip the trees out or allow. Okay. Nobody wants this road. It's ridiculous. They should have to prove to you that they can actually do this, and then it's still a bad idea. So do whatever you want, but everybody on that street doesn't want it.
Thank you, John.
Question, do you have plans for adjoining lots, or is this a one-off type?
well, at this point, that's the only piece of property that was back there. But like I spoke to Heather, we're more than willing to buy more property back there if somebody will sell it to us. I mean, we want to develop. That's our whole purpose of being in there. But I mean,
Well, it's nice. We have to live.
There we go.
So,
we were kind of changing our mind slowly, so. We don't want to be somewhere where we're not wanted.
Steve, was the road ever formally abandoned when the barricades went up, or is it still a public road right of way?
It is still a public road right of way,
That makes sense.
and our attorney has communicated that it is shaky foundation as to whether or not we could actually do that.
Whether you can actually put the barricades there.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
So we just did it because we wanted to do
You
something.
can do it till somebody says you
Right.
can't do it.
Yes.
Basically is, you know,
Excuse me, the county also approved those being put there.
Yeah, but they didn't abandon the road right of way.
I understand that, but the county approved it. The roads belong
well, it's
to.
on private property. 80% is on private property.
So,
We'll have it closed down so quick.
yes.
Yeah.
So the platted roads, when they're not taken up by the road commission, essentially become private rights of way,
Okay.
which is why this needs to be a private road.
Okay. Who is the first property owner right at the end of where they think the road is? Like, cause everybody says they can get through there too, but I feel, from looking at GIS, it looks like they don't have a way through there either, unless they cross people's
If they're on
property.
Poppy Way, you're saying?
No, if they're going at the end of Daniels,
Continuing from Daniels,
right,
after, on the south side of the road, after John Bridgewater's property, it belongs to Clifton and Corliss Foster for 75 feet.
okay,
The remainder of that block belongs to Dalton Township.
okay,
On the north side, it's all owned by Nick Lystra.
okay, but how do you get through the Foster's property? Are they,
So there's a 40-foot wide platted road,
okay,
and that
Right now, the
goes
contract veers out of the private.
right.
They
They
would
would-
clear.
Yeah, they would have to clear straight. They would not be permitted to go.
they would have to get the road right of way surveyed and clear
Correct.
through the correct road right of way, okay.
Correct.
And so I'll also add Poppy Way. The north and south roads are all platted at 25 feet wide.
And Daniels is platted at 40.
East and west are platted at 40. North and south are platted at 25. And it would be up to the board, the township board, whether or not to grant an easement to consumers energy through township property.
Okay.
I guess my only other question is with I understand the electrical thing. You said something about, were there other places that you had to, other properties that you had to go through to get the power there? Like, where does the power end on Daniels?
Right at the,
I was gonna ask.
at the turn away. I also provided Heather and Steve with pictures and, they, normally there is 33 feet easement with consumers energy. And I'm just going by what the project manager said to me. And so he wouldn't need easement from that pole. He would need easement from the pole that they install, like say 250 feet, which would be the township. Cause that property is less than 250 feet away. I believe it was under 200 feet even, if I remember right, talking to Steve yesterday. So, that would be the only holdup is if literally the township would not grant us easement.
Where?
Right.
Sorry, let me ask you, is it Wendy?
Yes,
Where is the last pole on Daniels located? Is it north side or south side of the road?
it's on the north side at the very end.
Prior to the turnaround, or is it at the end of the?
It's at the
Three-quarters of the way.
end, yeah. It's probably, I'm gonna say 75 feet from the barricade, roughly. And again, I did provide.
It's on the north side.
It is on the north side of
It's
it,
gonna be on Nick's property.
right? But like I said, that there's 33 feet of easement from that pole.
So that's in a typical situation, but this is not a typical
Right.
situation.
You wouldn't need easement from that pole anyhow.
Who wouldn't?
They consumers, because they already have it.
They already have what?
A pole.
They already have an easement for that pole.
Yeah, you can't put a pole without an easement.
No,
So
but they're not continuing east. They don't have an easement.
Yeah, but it usually, they usually go in a pattern
I
yeah.
just granted one. I granted one a year ago, so that
But that doesn't mean in this situation,
Right,
there's
right,
not,
right.
you're not looking at the
No,
easement,
no.
the GIS easement, so.
They should have to prove that they can.
so here's.
I spoke with them. I spoke with them
They should have it
and
right.
I do have it in writing and
The
provided
problem,
an email and pictures and everything I was asked to
She did
do.
everything
So
that she was asked.
if there's something else that I need to provide that you request me to provide, I would be more than happy to do that.
well, the problem is the township does not have to grant you an easement on their property. They do have some legal leeway in granting that easement if it's a public safety type issue. And based on why the road was closed off, I'm concerned that they would be within their legal rights to deny your easement. That's not a slam dunk to say, oh, the township will. Yes, normally under normal controlled situations, I would say the township has no legal basis to deny your easement. But in this situation, there could be some really, it's not a slam dunk for you to get the easement to run the power on township property. That's what I'm concerned about, is that, you know, public safety is a great reason for township boards to legally be able to turn things down that they otherwise wouldn't. So has there been any discussion about this easement or anything with the attorney or anything?
We have not discussed it with the attorney.
Okay,
We haven't received a official easement request.
right.
It's just an email from
Consumers saying they would need
saying
one,
that this is what it would cost and
right?
this was what we would do to run it.
Can they put an easement request in before? What is the cost or the time frame associated with putting in a request for an easement for the power? Is that something that can come first or it has to come after us?
It might be a good idea to, if you're willing to approve this, to approve it contingent on that that approval.
Okay.
You could also wait until that approval is granted.
Okay, so they could try to get that first.
They could.
Were you here? You weren't here last month.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, you were, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they would, consumers would submit a easement request packet to the township board. And then the township, we would likely send that over to the attorney for review. That's what we did with the last one.
With even, let's say we take that issue and just for a moment, look at the road itself.
Yep.
You would have to go as it lays onto someone else's property. And if you do not have that option available to you, then you'd have to then clear to your site. Is that something you were understood that you would be, need to prepare to do?
Yes, sir, and we received estimates for it.
Mr. Chairperson, I
So,
would ask that before that was allowed, there be an environmental impact study by the state, because that's old growth forest there. It's not original growth, but it's old. There's big trees back there, and I would ask, at the very least, we have the state do an environmental impact on it.
so here's where I'm at on it for what it's worth. I'm fairly familiar with developing and that. I'm seeing both sides. So, for the developer, Wendy, I'm still concerned with the power thing because which I agree with, not fully agree with John, but what John's saying is my exact concern is, okay, you clear the road, you do this, you do that, you move the barricades, you open everything up, and you figure out the consumers thing, get that dialed right in, and the project bails. That's what I can see happening fairly easily with the stage that I see you're at in the game. I am a big proponent on being able to do what you want with your property, right? So I don't want to hold you up from extending the road through a right of way that's already there and developing your property, right? I personally have nothing against that. I don't see that it would create a hazard for the neighbors. I think it would be a good idea if you were to block off Poppy north and south. If you did develop it so that it didn't become a highway so that people could get to the Poppy 2 tracks, this and that, only dead end of your driveway, right? But that being said, I want to see it. But personally, I would like to see a plan, even just a sketch from consumers showing what they're going to do, because like I said before, consumers will not run a power line down that 40-foot wide easement. They're not going to do it. They have to have their own easement, which means where the last pole is now, they're going to have to get easement from either Nick, or to jump across the street, they'd have to get an easement from John. Then they'd have to get an easement from the Fosters, and then get an easement from either Dalton Township or you could purchase the Dalton Township property, or at least they would put it up for auction. But it'd be brand new news to me. Consumers Power, to my knowledge, and I've dealt with this for years, will not run power down that 40-foot wide easement. They have to have their own easement outside of that. And it doesn't make sense to me to say, yep, go ahead and do this without me seeing, or the rest of the board, if they're concerned about it, or anyone else. Okay, here's consumers plan. Yep, this will work.
But why? Because if we approve it, if we're good with it and consumers can do it, if consumers collapses it, then we've approved it. It's not on us. Why does it matter if we either support the plan and don't really care about the concept, the after effects of what they're going to go through to develop it, or we don't approve the plan. We don't feel the plan is okay. Like, you can't really go both ways. If you support the plan, then power doesn't really have anything to do with it, because if we approve it and we're good with it, then whether it gets developed or not, we're good with both ways. Unless you're opposed to the plan, then you don't want it to be developed at all.
I don't mind it being developed at all.
Then the power should just be their problem. If consumers thinks they can get all these easements and stuff, then it's doesn't really have anything to do with our approval or denial. Like, we have to think about the plan itself without like
Correct.
how it's gonna be to clear all the trees and how it's gonna
No,
be to,
right,
I mean,
right,
we just
I
have to
guess
think
when
if
I'm-
this is in the best interest of the neighborhood, the township,
right.
and making sure that we don't inadvertently make someone's land undevelopable, which is a horrible thing for a planning commission to do.
Correct, I understand. Yep, and I also think some of our job is stuff that we're knowledgeable of is to prevent things from getting started and then stop and being partially completed because somebody might not have done enough homework or whatnot, and that creates a lot of problems in different cities, municipalities, and everywhere. It's just
So
when they get started.
You're concerned about them going ahead and clearing the trees and then finding out that consumers.
Clear
didn't
the
get
road,
easement.
move the
Okay.
barricades. Maybe half clear the road. Maybe, you know what I mean? Contractor comes in there and gets started, whatever, you get half done, you move the barricades, you do this, you open stuff up, it's Partyville out there, and then all of a sudden, nope, we're stopped for 12 months because we don't know what we can do for power because we can't get easement from this person or this person or this person, and we're halfway done. So if I don't see a clear path of development, I don't see what to start the development,
But
if that makes sense.
Can't you just make the motion contingent upon them starting with consumers to secure the easements before any
That
development
would
can
be
take
fine, but
place?
it's not on consumers to to secure the easements. It's on the property owner to secure the easements. Consumers are not going to do it for you. The consumer is just going to say, I need the easement here and here and here, go get it.
Right, but if the easements for the power don't happen, then can't you make that the first step of a whole development plan?
Contingent.
Right.
It's kind of up to Steve, I guess, who's going to bird dog that, who's going to watch it. I mean, that'd be fine, I guess. I mean,
Either option would make sure that easements are secured before any work is done.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, who's the attorney for the township?
That'd be Micah Myers out of Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would not want, sorry, I would not want to start this project without securing that.
and that makes,
And that will be the first phone call I make tomorrow to my project manager and ask them.
Is there any input from the board on Poppy Way option?
It's generally not the best idea to make them go way out of their way to develop their land, unfortunately. It's probably been done before, but it just it just opens up more liability on our end. Like, why did you do that? And you better have some good reasons to do that. And honestly, it doesn't look good that the Poppy Way is only a 25-foot wide easement and the Daniels is 40. It feels like,
those make it rough. That's the tough thing with this whole
yeah,
area.
I wish the other one was
The
40
forties,
too.
the 40s work, the 25s don't.
Right.
That's the thing with the whole area. So you can really only kind of develop the 40s, right? And then back properties up to each other.
I think it's definitely in need of development of some sort to get all the garbage out of there.
The more people that
But to
build
put it
houses,
through their,
That-
but to put it through their community and having them have to put up with all the traffic and everything else, I see why not do something with Lakes of the Road.
Just so you know, on your point, since the barricades were put in place, the garbage dumping back there has decreased by 90%.
Right, but there's still home encampments or whatever.
Oh, there's
They're always back.
Right.
But realistically, from a developing standpoint, if you look at how all that stuff's laid out, that's how that area will develop, is heading east. It's not gonna develop heading north-south. It's gonna develop by all those roads heading east. It's the cheapest, most efficient way to do it.
Would you want
It's not
all of
gonna,
them?
that's what's going to happen eventually. I mean,
Would you want-
eventually, that's what's going to happen because that's how it's set up now with all the lots, right? You got 40-foot easement here, 40-foot easement here, you got lots that back into each other. Over time, as that area develops, it's gonna be developed by it extending east, just like it's gonna be developed by it extending west on the other side. Right? That's how the whole area is based. That's how it's always happened. I don't see anybody, for example, developing Lakewood Road and then heading south off that, because then those are 25-foot easements. It's never gonna work that way. It's always gonna work by heading east. So it's only a matter of time, in my opinion. It's gonna happen, right? And I don't think there's any stopping it sooner or later.
what are the barricade? They're trying to stop people headed east and west or north and south or
Just heading east up, because what happens is, there's limited areas to get in and out. I'm familiar with all of the two tracks back there.
Yeah.
I've done all of my side by side. There's limited areas to get on and off those two tracks.
Mhm.
And so that was a hot spot to get on and off those
Now
two
where
tracks.
have people gone?
They just
since
change
then?
it, right? They change it and or they reduce it. The usage gets reduced. The more they get confined and stuff, the usage gets reduced, right?
But these Lakewood and Poppy's Way.
In Cedar.
Yes. But it's been reduced over time from what they did one, and then from just north of me where Jim I can't remember Jim's last name. Anyways, where Jim built back there, right? Those he bought a strip of township land and cut off that two tracks. So I mean there's a lot less coming. So it made the area a little bit smaller and less attractive anyways.
I realize that it's designed that way, but you could use Cedar and other roads, and as much as Dalton owns, we could change the way that's laid out so that people could access those roads and change the right of way. Just because it's drawn that way doesn't mean it can't be changed.
What do you mean? I guess Cedar.
Well, Well, Cedar stops at Dalton Township property. According to my. There's other
Go
roads.
south, you mean?
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is with the current zoning, this, that, everything else in the stuff that's there, I mean,
Don't see her.
eventually they're all gonna get extended east.
Start with
Yeah,
Cedar.
Cedar's nice and flat. Poppy Road. You wouldn't have to carve out a hill.
Right, but that's not where she owns property.
I don't think you should mention that because you're running dangerously into not in my backyard territory, which is not what we
In my
can.
backyard.
I know, but we can't consider that as a planning commission. That's not.
They, barriers put up for a reason. There you go. Nobody wants it on this one.
It sounds like it's just moved it to different locations.
That's perfect.
Maybe, but I care about where my backyard is. We've got the problem.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna try to get this.
I was answering her
I
question.
appreciate that, but we have a lot of feelings about it on things. We just need to keep that to ourselves until we'll give everyone an opportunity. So is there any the fact that it hasn't been officially abandoned, the road has not been abandoned, correct?
No.
Correct.
So if someone buys property back there, what is the solution for them? I mean, they have to do what they would need to do is that they'd have to take the trees out and go into that and then create the roadway that needs to go back there. And they would need to then meet all the specifications on what 40 foot back to that.
Yep, 22 feet wide of traveled surface.
Then on top of that, you have to get the approval for the easement to go with the poles, which you still have that as an obstacle and figure out how to get that in there.
And something else, I guess I should say that people might not want to hear, but it is what it is. But John and William both, anybody on that road that's concerned about those barriers, let me just throw out an example. If Wendy wanted access from Daniels to her property tomorrow, she doesn't need to come here and get any permission for anything. There's an established right away there. They can hire a tree guy. They can clear it. They're not improving the road to a private road. If they just wanted access to their vacant land, nobody can stop them from doing that.
They can clear trees off township property.
It's not, there's a 40-foot right away.
It's a right of way.
There's a 40-foot right away in there.
They can take the trees off.
Yes.
It's county property.
When they would have to get a permit, right,
Or what?
for the road, the driveway permit.
To me, I don't know. I don't know the details, Steve might, but to me, if you're not improving it, you would not. But I didn't read in depth on that, I guess, but is that,
That's a hypothetical that
you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
The special use is to put in a private road, not to create access to your property
Yeah.
down a public right of
Technically,
way.
Yeah, technically, those rights of way are owned by everybody in the plat. Which is why if you were to vacate any of those plats, you would have to file suit with everybody in that plat as a defendant.
Yeah. But
Everybody's entitled to use them.
correct. Yes. Yep.
What happens, okay, they just said that. What happens, because they're putting in a private road since it's on that right of way, what happens to that? It's becoming now, they claimed it kind of thing, or what, how does that work?
So
Because if it's still, if everybody has a right to it, and then they put their private road on it, what?
everybody still has a right to use that.
Right, which here's the crappy thing for a developer in their position is they go install 500 feet of road, you buy a lot at 200 feet down, you got free access, which sucks for them, it's great for you.
Oh, yeah, I understand that, yeah, you can be building the road for
Correct.
everybody pretty much.
Correct.
Until your house or the house, but I
Right.
just,
Yep. So they wouldn't have cause to kick anybody off of that road.
okay, I just wanted to get some clarification on that, I keep saying.
So I don't know. We could prove it based on the approval of the power is fine. I don't know how that think about how to read that, I guess, or write that, I guess. But I still feel I need a major sticking point, but
Could you share anything more regarding like the big picture of your development plans? And for example, I see you with a lot of headaches for a little tiny house out in the middle of nothing,
Well,
okay?
yeah.
And, okay, someone will buy it, all right? They got dusty roads and all that hassle, getting back and forth, doesn't matter what access. What do you say to somebody else that wants to buy a home for you to build back there? Because you don't own any more property, right? It's a one-off.
Back there, we
I don't-
own one, we own more in Lake in Dalton Township, but back there right now, our plan is to build the same thing that we're building in Kenwood, and it's a 3-bedroom
Yeah, and this
basement, walkout.
might fall into the category of, it's none of my business, and I apologize, but I'm wondering what's in it for you? I don't see much revenue if you break even or make a profit.
Profit, but yeah, that would be our business, no offense,
Right,
but
no, I
I
understand,
wouldn't do it if there wasn't a profit there, obviously, and
right,
going into this, I had no idea that we would be sitting here today. And even like, we're moving forward with it because we have a plan and we have done our homework.
we,
But I was told that we would be going in front of the board for a private driveway, not a road.
We've talked for years about the need for single-family detached homes out here.
Right, and
There's a huge need for it, but I see what you want to do there, and I kind of wish you had 150 acres and you're
I know, and
gonna
then I talked to Heather about, sell me more property and.
that sort of thing. You may stimulate some interest back there, but I don't know how you deal. That's your problem, I guess. A good problem to have.
People really want houses that are secluded.
Oh, yeah.
There's and we've not had a single problem. We've sold every single house before we were finished.
Yeah.
So. Not saying I don't have any concerns,
Yeah.
but
It's
Developers,
a nice house and it'll bring it.
it's a tough business. I appreciate that.
but it's one that we're passionate about, and it's not just for lining our pockets.
No, I understand.
It is an important thing. Our daughter lives in the community. She was the first house we built. We promised we'd stay in the community, and it's a challenge.
To this point, it's worked out pretty decent. So
It's had its challenges along the way, but we're still here and we'd like to stay in the community if we can.
Yeah.
That brings us to, got a lot to discuss. Is there any feeling from anyone that would like to?
Do any of the residents of Daniels Road realize that or understand or accept the fact that this was always in the plan to be open and not temporarily barricaded?
Okay.
No,
If you're gonna open it up and turn it into the way everybody gets back in there, they should have to pave the whole thing. Okay, if you're gonna turn it into a big, we already have to have the road commission come down a few times a year and improve the road because of it being dirt.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're gonna turn it into the access to get back there and choose our road out of all of them to be the one, okay, at least do it right.
To answer your, yeah, that's a good point. Excuse me, that there are multiple options. It appears at least.
It's on Daniels, isn't it? There's not multi, this is on their road.
it's actually on the corner of Poppy.
Yeah, if you've been back there, it's not
Right,
exactly.
but it's not on the road corner of Poppy Way and Cedar. It's on the corner of Daniels and Poppy Way, Daniels. So that's why we're sitting here right now.
To create the access so that everybody can build back there, make it right, do it the right way, and not allow our road to just get chewed up by trucks and stuff going back in there.
So you asked a question about the residents and did we expect that to be open? No, we thought the road was abandoned and permanently cut off when the barricades paid for by the township, placed by the township, were put there. That was our assurance that the road was now officially closed off. There's only enough room between the barricades for a large four-wheeler or something smaller. It wasn't totally cut off, but a motorcycle can fit through. The problem was you had everybody disregarding the speed and just ripping up and down it. And since we have kids, we have elderly, it's a short road. And like I said, the majority of us that live there, pay taxes on the road, do not want that opened up now. It's been wonderful since it's been closed.
Okay.
Steve, when it talks in here about this type of access has been approved administratively in the past until just this one, how many have been approved?
That is how I approved Jim Cross's driveway through the rights of way. And then there's one I approved up by Park. that has not been built
Mhm.
or constructed. There are a couple others that elude me right now. But this is one where I reached out to the attorney because I knew that it would be
Mhm.
controversial and I wanted to make sure we approved it the correct way. And he basically told me I was doing it wrong and needed to do it this way from here on out.
What is the precedence that you've set due to what we're sitting here tonight talking about? Like, what's the legality about suddenly, just because this is contentious, us saying we're gonna do it the right way instead of doing it the simple way that everybody else got to do it? Like, is that not setting us up for disaster pretty much?
I think
You can change and
Yeah,
just
it-
call it, we made a mistake.
I was, essentially I was making a mistake
Mhm.
and I
Better the process.
the attorney said the worst thing you can do is repeat a mistake.
Absolutely.
So it's,
That's words to live by.
I told the applicant when they inquired about the property, I said, I do want to inquire of the attorney to make sure that we don't need a private road.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did, they were aware that that was an eventual scenario.
Okay.
In regards to future development of that site, that is in the, within the, Lakewood Addition sub-area plan. That area is slated for conservation, which means that in the plan, the sale of township-owned properties in that area is not encouraged. So this would likely be, the township property along this road would be discouraged from being developed simply to maintain that community forest.
But didn't we talk about selling township property to adjacent landowners there to make bigger parcels?
That's to make bigger parcels for existing
And
homes.
if I remember it, the conservation, quote unquote, conservation district, didn't we limit that to like, no more than 5 houses on 40 acres or something like that?
Um,
We had some kind of limit on there.
It's kind of,
For development density.
yeah, I think it was 40 acres. That would eventually be like a flexible district, 40
Right,
acres
right.
that could be developed in the future.
Right.
Once the development area is full. This is a little further north from that area. But the lines are flexible.
Right, yeah, it is a little bit north if
But it is,
I remember, yeah.
It is something where if, the next couple of years, someone were to ask, put in a request to buy township property to build for the specific purpose of building, I would advise against it. So this would be, there would be one other privately owned property where somebody could build, and that is on the north side of the road where they're extending it to, owned by another individual. So there is potential for a second house to be put on. They could see that a private road was put in and then request a house.
It's on the north side of Daniels, on Highway and Daniels.
Correct.
What would happen to if they got this extension? What would happen if they took the barricades, the developer took the barricades and put them at the end of Daniels on the east side of Poppy Way? What would the township do if they put those barricades down there? Would they make them remove them? Or,
Daniels does not go through.
Don't keep going.
oh, it doesn't
Yeah.
keep going. It
Well,
that ends.
excuse me. It stops.
Poppy Way goes north and south. Daniels was always used as a shortcut to Poppy Way off.
Okay.
That's when move those and put them on the north and south sides of Daniels at Poppy Way.
Oh, yeah.
Which would
Yes.
not allow people to come from Poppy Way onto Daniels and
Right.
alleviate. the
So there's
possibility
no there's
Yeah,
no
the fence
platted
stand.
road
of-
past Poppy
but
Way.
It's not clear. Nobody
But
uses.
it's planted, it's just,
Platted, but
just what-
it would totally not be
Yeah,
passable.
Daniels
Okay.
takes in the Poppy Way. So like we talked last month, if you took and blocked off north and south
Right.
side of Daniels and Poppy Way. Correct. Correct.
Do that.
Yeah, but-
How's the fire trucks to turn around?
Yeah, wherever the right way they're at.
It would be above the,
Exactly.
Hammerheads put black there and black there.
Right.
you'd have to put it,
Right.
And then
You could do the same thing there. You'd be serving the same service. You're just moving that, but because there is nothing out there.
Okay.
There's
the
nothing.
barricade that would block off Poppy Way would be further north or south than the end of the
So I don't
street.
see any traffic increasing.
Turnaround, it would be,
If anything, it would
you know,
decrease.
more than 60 feet.
Block off on way north south.
But there is an intersection of Daniels and Poppy
Correct.
Way.
in there.
It exists.
Correct.
Like, there's no intersection.
Yeah. It's still. Yeah, make sure they can, always go take down the stuff that we already paid for up.
Oh, yeah, no, I would have to be contingent on that.
Yeah, but still. If it's doing its thing, like we, they, with the little process to get put there.
Right.
Should just know that it does get removed. Or.
So Steve, dumb question, but I'm just buzzing back through the private road ordinance here. And for 24B. Item number 1 is application for private road special use. Which says private road. Special use for private roads. Shall include road, streets. Rights of way for ingress and egress, blah, blah, which are non-public and serve more than 2 dwellings. This would serve more than 2 dwellings and it is public, right? Because it's an existing public right away.
So the right of way is public, but it would not be publicly maintained.
Okay. Gotcha.
So the road commission would not
Correct.
pick it up.
Correct. Okay. So John, you did say that the road commission comes, you guys call the road commission. So I guess I'm curious, doesn't Lakewood maintain that road or is it too far south?
Across,
Lakewood.
across Russell Reef.
Okay, so Lakewood doesn't do anything on the east side of Russell.
No, it's all county.
They come through and they grade the road because they'll get
Yep,
big
yep.
ruts and everything, walls. They bring material in.
Yeah.
It used to be really bad.
Yeah, but no, I can remember. I thought Lakewood did them, but I didn't know they don't do anything east. Gotcha.
They stop at the same line.
Okay. Thank you.
I guess we're back to what Jesse has said, because I'm confused too, because it's talking about in the private roads, it says A2 says a newer proposed private road is any road or thoroughfare for vehicular traffic which is privately owned and maintained. So it says private, it doesn't say just privately maintained, it says privately owned too. And this obviously is not. And it does keep saying over and over again, which provide, well, I guess it will provide principal means to more than 2 lots or parcels because. But I don't get how, I may be dumb, but I'm just not understanding how you can build a road in a public right of way without it being a public road and like, but we're approving a private road. So like, what are we doing here? I'm just really confused. It seems like only the public would be able to develop a public road. And that they would,
So for example, I did one a couple years ago directly across the road from our shop. And it was a Michelin road right of way was
Okay.
heading west and it was just woods. It went back, it would serve one house for 50 years. And then beyond that was just woods, right? So some people bought a parcel back there. And it was as simple as getting a right of way, a permit to work in the right of way
Oh,
from the
okay.
State County Road Commission.
okay,
And and we cleared the right way for them and built the road and everything else. And it's just a private driveway. but
Okay,
it's within the county's easement, so you
but
only,
anybody can use it though, right?
correct,
Okay,
correct, now that it's improved,
if you wanna
yes.
drive back.
Yep, you can drive back there if you want to.
I'm not gonna.
And so the homeowner, or the property owner had property a half mile back in the woods where there was no road. All they had to do from Muskegon County was get a right of way permit.
Okay, so we
Those
call it a
restrictions
private
come
road,
up.
but it's not, it's privately built and privately maintained, and
Within.
it's not private.
So
Okay,
technically it is, because if the road is not picked up by the road commission or the township, which I do not believe the township ever picked these roads up on their own,
okay,
then by default, they become the collective property of the owners within the plat.
okay, so I shouldn't be driving on it because I don't live there. Is that what you're saying?
But it's a county right of way, so you can.
Like,
So the property owner back there, for example, down the Muskegon County Road, they can't put a gate up at the end of it. Now,
Right,
with the county's permission, they might let them if they have extensive problems with this
Right.
and that, but then you could call and complain, hey, the
I
right of
can't
way
get
is
in
blocked
there,
off.
yeah.
I want to go down that right of way, and that creates the thing, right? So, but like I say, for them to build on the county's right of way, it was that simple. You just fill out a right of way permit. And
okay.
you go clear the woods, then you build the road.
So does that mean that
Um,
that area there belongs to us, people that own the property in that area?
How big is the plat?
It's essentially like a
Oh,
like
Lakewood
condominium shared by everyone,
Everyone on the road don't want it, so we ought to be dealing with that.
everyone in the plat.
which is all Lakewood Pub.
Well, we'll get them all.
So that
the greatest
SEO campaign. So this.
I'll get it.
I got a lot of union brothers in Lakewood go.
specifically would be Lakewood Edition number 7, which runs east of Russell, north of Lakewood, south of White Lake, and the eastern boundary would be, I believe they
Maybe
call it Strand,
all clear to Strand.
but it was platted as a different.
So you got a mile by mile and a half, basically.
Yeah. But all of the development is east of the village.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's a big section.
I think my kids, my husband, really have family.
No, Lakewood's right. Lakewood is right there, I think. Oh no, I'm sorry, Lakewood's right there. So yeah, it's Daniels is north of. My iPad's we go get you husband. These roads are so close together on a phone, it's like impossible.
Steve, I don't remember. I just looked into this stuff and I remember the one time we did a road thing. This was already like fire access. Chief's all right. We talked to him about it. 'Cause I know last time he was kind of too happy that we didn't talk.
Yeah, so it would be,
Just making sure it's like the proper size.
yeah, so it would be a acceptable alternative to a hammerhead where it is split off, and it's on their site plan.
Yeah, that little like back end turn around. Yeah, I just wanted to double check. 'Cause I just read the fire chief and I'm like, oh, that remember that. And I can't remember if we talked about it later.
Yes, he was consulted during their design phase.
Okay.
Have you thought about any concessions to the people living on Daniels? I don't know what that would be, but like, for example, what?
I mean, we understand where they're coming from, but like you pointed out, I mean, at some point, if somebody bought property back there, what if it was us building a house? Would they still feel that way? I think we're not considering us being, you know, the property owners and what we're investing in it. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I mean, we have considered, you know, their aspects, and you're talking one single family house, one or two cars. So I, I, I'm very empathetic to their concerns and everything, as I spoke last month about it. And there's just really nothing more to say about that.
I'm sure you're not I mean, the very last thing you want to see is what happened before happen again, because now you're trying to sell a house where it's become a problem. So
Right.
Sold before it's finished. They won't even know that they're building next to a meth camp or.
If I may, the issue is not what they do with their property. I'm a firm believer you do whatever you want to with your own property. I'm saying we don't want your private drive or your extension off Daniels because it's not going to be two cars. That's the issue. It's going to be everybody on their four-wheeler, on their four-wheel drive, on their ratty-ass pickup trucks, on their bicycles, going back to the two meth camps. 10-person tent set up back there. Township hasn't thrown them out of there yet. That'll be their neighbors. I don't care what they do back there. I don't want them to open that back up and make a freeway of Daniels again. There's already a freeway on Poppy Way. It still would be cheaper to widen Poppy Way all the way back
you
than to
can't
clear all that.
because you can't. It's not for you to go onto private property
Anyway,
for.
I was speaking. So it would still be cheaper for them to win on Poppy Way than to clear all the way back from Daniels. We don't want it. They said.
We understand. We're at a
They
point
said
now.
if they didn't, if we didn't want it, they wouldn't.
I think if, unless that is open, the township, I feel, would be obligated to allow traffic in and out of there via some entranceway. What would you suggest that would be? What would be the second best option for the developer?
The second best would be Cedar. The first best would be Poppy Way, second best would be Cedar. It's the same exact distance back.
Cedar's already got a clear level.
One lot away from there.
Next Poppy Way, and it's
There's
like
a
How far north is Cedar from Daniels?
the next road.
One south.
Oh,
Or
one,
Cedar north or south?
South.
Cedar south.
one road south. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So 100 feet south or one lot.
Is that already open?
Yeah, no, it's no more open back into the woods
Then
than
Daniels.
Daniels.
Okay.
But we blockaded and stopped the problem. But the problem be at Cedar. But the
How
problem,
many homes are on Cedars? It's similar to Daniels property?
Probably.
there's fewer people.
Fewer, okay.
But Cedar doesn't do any good because you'd have to turn and come up Poppy Way, which is a 25-foot easement, which is not wide enough.
Yeah.
It's gonna develop going east on
Okay.
Daniels, east on Cedar, east on this one, east on this one. That's what's going to happen eventually. I mean,
Poppy
you can't go back and then turn left on Poppy Way.
Probably needs to
It's 25 feet wide. You're not turning that corner.
Yeah.
You're not building that.
You know how they get there. I think
Is that the same if you go north past Daniels on
The
Poppy Way?
entire Lakewood addition is
That's
that way. All
25 feet? Oh,
north, south are 25, east, west are 40.
oh, it's a nightmare.
But it's the same thing Ron Leatherman's field over there, right? He's
Yeah.
built all the roads east, west, the properties butt up to each other from the north, south. It's the way the entire thing is developed already.
Mhm.
I don't see a change in that unless you buy a bulk 200 acres and wipe out all that land and basements and redo everything, which is an enormous task in
Right.
itself. I don't think like doing that either.
Yeah.
And I think you see what I'm saying.
It's complicated for the one-off house, isn't it?
So Stephen, on this, on the sample motion there, Steve, on 424 G2F4, that whole paragraph of F, I mean, I'm reading that all 5 of those items need to be completed anyways, correct? paragraph F,
Four.
G2F in general, I mean, all five of those items need to be completed anyways per our ordinance, correct?
Yes, I believe so. Me too. Yes, those would all have to be completed.
Right. And we're just modifying it to be, okay, got it.
Still confused. The second best option would be what? But it's not,
It doesn't access their property.
yeah, it's not an option.
This is not, yeah, there's,
My understanding without great expense and
Church.
irritation. Church department.
Let's make sure you guys do everything right. Let's make sure it's all that.
The turning number.
Nineteen 12 platted property. It's a real burden today. It's looking like.
They're not making more properties to try to, so it will develop, and if you don't want it to develop, you should buy it.
1912.
That's all
designed
that's all you can do, right?
And, yeah,
They're not making any
it's
more.
like Twin Lake. So the houses almost touch on the north side.
Stuff will develop.
Yeah.
They almost touch on Lake Michigan.
there anyone feeling clarification we need or any questions we have?
I have another stupid question. Have you looked at any other available lots on those various streets?
There was nothing, and when we bought the property, it was in February, we bought Kenwood and that property, and I talked to Steve several times prior to buying the property, and that is what a lot of the problem is. There's just not a lot of property
Yeah.
available, so we did our homework prior to, purchasing it, and we bought it.
Yeah.
Yes, he's working on something here.
I am, but anybody else feel free.
Yeah.
In terms of a motion,
since the township already allowed them to block off Daniels, do we have the ability to block off Poppy Way north and south? Is that something that's an option to help the neighborhood? Because then you would just have
That would help,
I would say it's an option.
no whatsoever.
only way back
Not
to
saying-
Daniels
Yeah,
Road.
I'm not saying it's something that would stick, but to be there initially, it would.
No, no,
It should be considered as an option if it's approved. It should be blocked off to maintain that same, the same quality,
Yeah.
the same safety that those barricades are providing now.
Grant the fire department object to that as they have voiced in
They're not the fire
the time when we
department.
bought the Daniels. Poppy Way blocking that does not block the way to Daniels. You could still go down Cedar, Lakewood, you could get there many ways. All cutting off Poppy Way would do is cut off Poppy Way. Do nothing regarding the issue that we're here about.
I mean, isn't that what Daniels, they're using Daniels to get to is Poppy Way though?
They were using Daniels to get back to all the vacant property and all the trails. Jesse said he's been back there on a side by side. There's miles and miles of trails back there. I've been back there on my flat. I'm a nature lover. I like it back there, but I don't want the people ripping down our road unsafely as they did. That's the only issue. Is the safety of our neighborhood and the quiet and the sanctity of it. Safety and peacefulness.
We talked about this till we're blue in the face, not this issue, but related issues, and specifically that land back there. It's a law enforcement issue for the most part, it sounds like.
They say call the township.
Old tires, tent cities, vagrants.
The township's aware of the drug use and the living back there.
Right.
They're still there. Take care of that problem. Shelf this, take care of that problem. We have people cutting through John's yard that are on drugs.
Which
Going
there
back
again, it's a complaint based system, right? So like I will give like a couple months ago, I
Yeah,
saw a new trailer on my side by side and I reported it to the township and it was gone 6 weeks later.
yeah.
They did their job.
6 weeks.
Everything's a process.
But that's still going on years after
Yeah.
we reported it. And the police do come out infrequently and they arrest people and they haul them on it, but it doesn't stop it. If you open that up, word's gonna be out to everybody. The freeway's open again.
We used to have people flying out of the woods at like 50 miles an hour. They'd get a running start and hit our, like where we actually live. Out of the blue, people would shoot out of the woods at 50 miles an hour. And it's wild.
We just don't want that.
I can
I
recommend,
understand.
you know,
We don't want-
putting a no outlet or, you know, private property. Smile, you're on camera. That's what we plan on doing back there. There are things that can alert people that don't belong back there. I mean, those are just a few
The
suggestions.
township had that sign up saying like cameras are in use and they were still burning tires right underneath the signs.
Right.
These people don't care.
But if, I guess I got just a short question for you guys, John, William. So if Daniels gets extended, Poppy Way gets blocked off on the north side and the south side of Daniels. I don't want any opinions about the fire chief. If it gets blocked off on the north and south side of Daniels, where is the traffic going to come from up and down Daniels? It's going to fly up and down Daniels and make it a horrible place to live.
They'll make a new,
Where will it come from if it's on the north and south side of Block?
they'll make.
I'm asking where it's going to come from. If that's, you're saying they're going to make a new trail.
They're gonna
They
make,
can do
they've already
that.
done
They
it.
can do
As
that
soon
now.
as we blocked it
They've
off,
already-
they started another one. We
I
had
know,
to go in
and
there.
that's going to happen regardless of where it's blocked off now, or you go 300 feet east and block it off north and south.
I don't.
There is no other-
I don't know the answer to
There
your question.
is, and neither do
You're
you.
doing it right. That's
So
all I
there
gotta say.
is no other existing connections that's going to make your life a miserable life because of this extension. If north and south Poppy Way is blocked off,
They'll just go around it.
which they can currently do. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Just make sure you're doing it right. Because I was
It's in
against
the book,
this.
though.
Now I'm doing it for fun. Okay. Just make sure you're doing it right. Serious.
There's like 5 pages of private road stuff that they have to go through before they can get it approved. So before they can use it and get it approved. So, I mean, it's very detailed for them to know the right way to build the road and to deal with the road.
And we have to have it signed off by a engineer.
I'm not trying to be a wise guy, but I'm sitting here thinking when I was in my teens, I'd go anywhere on my dirt bike that was dirt, gravel, or woods, within reason, but our riding area with pipelines, I lived up north and it wasn't really residential for the most part, but to the point of moving the barricades or this and that, yeah, you're right, dirt bikes and quads probably for the most part. Snowmobiles, not so much.
And they will, I think but the big problem up in that whole area is that it's not the teens necessarily on a dirt bike or a quad here and there.
Yeah. I think I
It's
know
the
what you mean.
drugs and a full size vehicle and 3 a.m. and things like that, right? I don't,
Yeah.
if I correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't, it's not a 15, 16-year-old kid riding around a dirt bike or a quad. Those are scattered around, but they're not
Yeah.
causing any problems,
I
right?
agree.
It's the drug problem, right?
Quick stop, you'll see several of the beat up old trucks that used to go down that road. It's nice and peaceful now, the way we like it.
Our committee has always, well, very often made the comment or statement that we're very pro-builder, pro-growth. We need homes out here. People who work in Muskegon want to live out here and move out here. There are some new jobs coming to town and so on.
It's a beautiful community.
Yeah.
There's a large company coming to town. So somebody building tank transmissions, armament.
Oh, I got a question for Steve about this thing. Like we were talking before, like we were doing it wrong or whatever. Can you explain that? Like what was done wrong with the private roads or whatever on the right of ways to what?
Yeah, so approving it as a private driveway
Instead of a private road.
was incorrect, and it should be a private road
Because it was on that right of way.
because it was.
I just wanted that. I just didn't understand it when you were talking about that. Or just wanted
So then it goes from administrative to
should went through here if it's on a right of way. Gotcha.
While Jesse's writing,
Yeah, Jesse's right.
do you feel the residents would prefer those roads to be paved in the future? Or that just speed up the traffic? I'm just curious if
Are you gonna dead end it or not? I mean, like I'm hearing you guys are gonna dead end it. But then it's also gotta be the method of access to develop this whole thing, but then I'm hearing that it's not desired to be developed. You guys need to figure this, you guys need to figure it out. So
Sparsely developed.
My opinion, of course, we'd like a paved road. Who would? I mean, I have a old show car. It's a 64. I've got a couple $1,000s into that car. I have to drive about 2 miles an hour down my road. Would I prefer that be paved? Absolutely. Is that going to stop anybody? The only thing that has stopped, and I've owned that property for 20 years. She's lived there for 40 plus years. In all that time, the only thing that has stopped the disruption, the chaos in our neighborhood are those barricades, the road end sign, and the no outlet sign at the beginning.
Yeah.
We want the status quo. Just leave it like it is.
Yeah.
We didn't, and with all due respect to the property owners back there, I have nothing against them developing that. That's fine, as I said before. We just don't want it opened up so the traffic goes back down that road. If it's paved or unpaved, I don't know what difference that would make, to be honest. Of course, everybody would prefer to live on a paved road. You have to wash your cars.
if you're gonna make it access back there for further development, it should be paved. Otherwise, it's gonna be the only way to get back there. Everybody will just use it.
Okay, this is a long one, Steve. But I have it wrote down. I make a motion to approve a special land use and site plan review for the establishment of a private road within the platted right of way of East Daniels Road as proposed. Further move that the requirements of section 4.24 G.2.f4 of the zoning ordinance be modified pursuant to section 16.4 of the zoning ordinance to require that the applicant submit as-built drawings certifying that the private road was built to required standards, which have been prepared, signed and sealed by a professional engineer who has been licensed by the state of Michigan in lieu of certification by the township engineer. I further move that the existing barricades located at the east end of Daniels be relocated to the north and south side of Daniels on Poppy Way at the expense of the applicant and approved by the township prior to beginning any type of development or construction. I further move that the applicant provide to the zoning administrator drawings from Consumers Energy and easements from adjacent property owners as necessary to extend utilities necessary for the proposed use prior to any type of development or construction.
We have a motion.
Second.
Motion, Jesse.
Support.
Support. Okay, we will take a roll call vote. Dave, yes. Todd?
Yes.
Jesse? Casey?
Yes.
John? Mark?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Go forward. Hit that requirements on that.
Okay.
And again, we always hate to get involved in these things when that's why we all live out here. It's all very personal to us. We've all had those on the private roads and all the different issues we have with that. So just working together as we can as neighbors will help. I think activity back there by your construction, hopefully that will help deter some of that also.
We respect that 100%.
Not that it makes any difference, but I will be talking with the county sheriff about your situation. Random.
But there is problems out there. There are problems out there, and that's what we cannot want to expand, that's for sure.
All right, next up on the unfinished business is PC 26-08 for Strand Road, Campground Pavilion, Special Land Use and Site Plan Review. Is someone here for that? Okay. There's several questions we had last meeting on that. Did we get it was on the road itself, correct?
Yeah, that got so it's abandoned.
Okay, so that one is taken care of. I'm not staying that. Their names.
His name Frank.
I didn't think so. And no sense.
I'm not an architect or an
A
engineer.
little bit of hangover here.
I do my due diligence.
Oh, that wasn't about your thing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Do some drawings, man.
We're talking about a different drawing. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. Done my fair share.
Wasn't it as an abandoned road, that doesn't matter then on the distance from that?
Yeah, the setbacks were a lot less for it because it's just
That's okay.
that and it's a 25-foot setback, which I believe meets the requirements.
It would have worked good.
Yes, and they can always modify that administrator,
Okay,
modify that. So you're right next door to their existing use.
okay. Okay. I can read everything on it now, so I think it looks great.
All right, any more discussion or any need? Are there any motions?
I just have a question of what are the proposed hours of use for the pavilion?
Be honest, I'm not sure. I have to ask the owner about that. I mean, obviously, I'm just building it. I would assume it's a campground, so I would assume they would shut it down, regular hours, 8 to 5 maybe or something. Yeah, I'm sure I can call and find out. I assume they're using it for like, little cookouts or family gatherings, maybe.
Oh, a little bit. I know the campground right across the street, and we use it for activities. We have the same thing. And we stay up till probably almost 10 o'clock at night sometimes doing,
There you go.
Activities and stuff like that. So
That's like, noise out.
Yeah, 10 PM is the noise ordinance, I think. I know he asked me, he told me to ask, I should
It's
confirm.
yeah.
His hours.
So that's always the
I didn't
big
look
one.
there.
There's about 15 left, 35 left, so it's 11, yes.
It's 10. Oh, yeah. Racetrack.
That's why they had to get a special just for later.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is it? I mean, where can I find it?
Right, tablet. Yeah, like they have.
In my old book, I had it.
It's 11, but it's in the general provision. It's in the general
Ah.
code book.
Right. It's
The
not
blue one.
ours.
No. No, it's in the blue one.
Yeah, go to the
General.
Motion,
I should get a blue one.
yes. I'd like to make a motion. Oh, hold on. I'm not- I make a motion to approve a special land and use permit and site plan review for campground pavilion, which is determined to be a recreation facility under the Dalton Township zoning ordinance on parcel 610702A100001500 as proposed.
Support.
We have a motion and support. A roll call vote. Dave, yes. Todd? Yes. Jesse?
Yes.
Casey?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
All right, that moves forward.
You're welcome.
All right. Appreciate your patience tonight. This is not our normal
Been fun.
length of time. All right, and I imagine you are here representing
No, the lone guy.
AC 2611 at Lake Schnepahoe, replace existing dwelling and add accessory building. Want to go ahead and you can do it right from there. Your voice carried fine for me. Just give us an idea of what you're looking to do.
Yes, the pole barn, especially the house where it's kind of like maybe in the future. Not sure if we want to do it or not, but I wanted, since we were here doing these such, I wanted to. We end up building that route, but pole barn's kind of pretty essential to us because we need this more wood storage. We got campers that we rent out. We want to get out of the weather in the winter, put them in the pole barn, equipment, tractors, and just our pole barn we have right now, just for the activities that we do, it's just completely packed full. It's tons of time going through it, trying to find out or find the stuff without making a complete mess every time we do it. So I just need a lot. Reserve like campers and tractors and stuff. More is everything else.
So it says you're gonna replace an existing residence.
That's, we're kind of up in the air with that. If we're gonna do it or not, or when we're gonna do it. But I just wanted to get it on the site plan, so I don't have to do it again like I did a couple years ago with the pavilion. So I wanted to just go ahead and get it done in case that's the route we're gonna go. We talked about it, just not sure if we're gonna go really off to the. And it's gonna be, if we do it, it's gonna be in the exact same spot it's at now.
So just replace.
Just replace.
And what is the actual size of the building?
The pole barn?
Yeah.
It would be a 40 by 60. Should be there.
Yeah, it's
Let's say 4 by 18.
18.
Okay, thank you.
18.
It says 40 by 60 by 18, I think, is that?
Well, what he's got here.
I think it's just putting 18-foot sidewalls,
18-foot sidewalls.
Oh, it's 20 foot sidewalk.
20-foot sidewalls.
It'll be.
It says 18, but we'll just cross that off.
That's on the second.
So he's got a 40 by 60 building, okay, which is 2,400 square feet, and he's got 3 10 by 10 room to off the side of it, whereas we're comes up 2,700.
Stephen, they kind of did that wrong at the site plan guys, and I tried to get them the correct time. And the actual, I don't know if you guys got it, but I got David and Steve and the actual printout of the building. It shows that all it is a lean-to on the side, not 3 separate ones. just with the door on it,
Oh, so 10 by 30 lean to,
I see.
like right here.
which is the same thing.
The same thing.
Same thing for us for square footage. Yeah.
Square
Yeah.
footage. 20 foot tall, instead of 18, I didn't even catch that on the set one.
Still won't even see it from the road.
Or still approved.
Please.
Case PC 26-11, site plan review to construct 2,700 square foot accessory building and new dwelling to replace an existing dwelling at Lake Schnepahoe as proposed.
Sport.
All right, we have a motion and support. Take a roll call. Dave, yes. Todd,
Yes.
Jesse,
Yes.
Casey,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
and Lee.
Yes.
That motion carries. That brings us to
I
our
make a motion to adjourn.
support.
Yes.
Record time. We appreciate that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?